Obviously, we've been talking more about this, I think, in the wake of Trayvon Martin, as we've been talking more about crime and gun violence. But Reverend Sharpton was very impassioned there, and I think made a very important case for how we would support our young people.
Well, I'll tell you, both Ben and I were at the march, obviously, yesterday. You were there, too. And I was so pleased to see so many students there and so many young people.
Yes.
I think that was amazing. And I think that shows that they are engaged, that they understand that there are some major issues that confront all of us, not just young people, but retirees, working families all over this country. Right. And they want to be a part. They want to be a part of the fight. They want to be a part of the struggle. And they were there yesterday in force. And I think we've got to nurture that. We've got to mentor our young people, and we've got to teach them not only about the past, but where we need to go in the future, and engage them and bring them along and have them participate with us.
Go ahead, Ben.
You know, one of the things I think that most exciting to me is this Demand 15 campaign. I don't know if you're spending time with these fast food workers, retail workers. Right. Folks are making $7.25, and it's very clear to them that there's not much their boss can do to them that they couldn't do to them anyways. And I was in a room of about 1,000 of them from about 10 cities across the country. You know, Lee, about a third of the organizers were young black men, absolutely on the margin of our economy. Frankly, I haven't seen that many young black men on fire outside of a prison, you know, from that segment who really, it's that $725 or it's trying to figure out how to do it in the street. And we need to be all in. Right. With folks like that when they're standing up, because that is where the movement comes from, is people, at the end of the day, who have nothing to lose, and they're going to risk everything to make a better future for their own children.
And that, you know, Lee, seems to me to be so much of what the march was about in 1963, and I know a lot of people talked about it yesterday, this sort of intimate connection between economic security, jobs, and freedom, and this idea that, you know, having a good paying job, making a living wage, being able to take care of yourself and your family, and are we faltering in being able to provide that opportunity for young African-American men in particular, but for young people in general?
Well, there's no question about it. I mean, you look at students who are going to school, and they have to borrow money to go to school. And right now, that debt is over $1 trillion, okay? And they have the opportunity to go to college. Many of our young people don't even have that opportunity. When you look at what's happening with voting rights, with civil rights, with worker rights, with labor rights across this country, under attack every single day. The 1% trying to gain more wealth and more power at the expense of the 99% who are trying to play by the rules every single day, trying to feed their kids, trying to send their kids to school. Right. I mean, this is not what this country should be about. And that's why the march yesterday was so important. But we not only should commemorate, and both Ben and I talked about this yesterday, we've got to rededicate ourselves and recommit ourselves to the struggle, because we are under attack. Working families are under attack. Retirees are under attack. Students are under attack. And we've got to join.
The other thing that struck me yesterday that was really beautiful to see was such a broad coalition of people. I mean, you had labor, you had environmental groups, you had LGBT, you had black, you had white, you had old, you had young. And that seems to be key to the model now in terms of organizing and mobilizing, that you have to build these broad coalitions in order to make these moral arguments and in order to really have the numbers to show, I think like they did in 1963, that this is about shared values of a large group of people.
You know, one thing that Dr. King understood very well was that you linked civil rights with human rights. You linked it with labor rights and worker rights and economic rights. And people came together yesterday as they came together in 1963. And it was a coalition. It was a coalition effort. It was labor unions. It was civil rights organizations. It was a religious community. It was retirees. It was students. That same coalition has got to come together once again. It's not like we've disappeared, but we've got to rebuild it. We've got to pay more attention to it.
And the good thing in this moment is that it is coming back together.
It is.
You can look at the Moral Mondays movement and Reverend Barber, our great leader down there. But you can look across this country. I mean, we had a choice when the Tea Party rose up and they were attacking all these different types of rights. We could all run back to our burning houses and balkanize. But we decided to adopt the motto of the Three Musketeers and just say all for one, one for all.
And we're coming together.
And
winning as a result.
And let's hope that the president speaks to that and gives us that call to action that we're looking for on Wednesday. Ben Jealous, Lee Saunders, thank you so much for joining me.
Good seeing you, Karen.